Kia ora, welcome back to RJ's Wild Walks. Today we're in the village of Ruapehu and we're going to do the Old Coach Road. Typically it's done by mountain bike, but you can also hike it. It's a 15-kilometre trek to the alpine town of Ohakune. Let's get to it. The Old Coach Road was built in the early 1900s. It was originally used as a transport route for horse-drawn coaches carrying passengers and goods between two main sections of North Island's main trunk railway. At the time, the railway between Auckland and Wellington was incomplete, with a gap between Ohakune and rimu. To bridge this gap, passengers had to travel by coach along a rugged track through dense native forest. I think the cows think I'm going to feed them. They're all following me. I made some friends. Hello. They must be used to just bikes zooming past them. I'm thinking I probably should have put my coat on. It's quite a lot cooler than I thought it was going to be. Like I need it. Quite cold. If I pick up my pace a bit, I can warm myself up. So Ohakune, this area, it's quite famous for growing the likes of potatoes and carrot. This is where a lot of our potatoes and carrot come from New Zealand. Yum. That's a farm with a view, eh? Even the farmer keeps his lands looking really clean and nice. I guess when he's got so many people that come past, I want them to admire it. Right, so I've just made it back into the Tongariro National Park. So this is the Hapuawhenua Bridge, and they had the middle pillar holding it up. They had it on that angle to minimise flood damage caused for when this river floods. Anything banging into it, so it made it easier for the water to just go around it, and so that's why it was, the middle pillar was made on that angle. There's a viaduct, very impressive bridge. Would have been nice if they made it so we could cross it. Whew. I imagine some people do walk along those. So the Taonui Viaduct, it was designed by Peter Seton Hay, and it was built in 1908 and used up until 1987. It's pretty impressive. We have the current train bridge just above me here. So the more modern one that they use nowadays. So here's a interesting but random fact. The first mung bean ever cultivated here in New Zealand was on the spot November the 20th, 1775. And the following year, in November, they produced the first mung bean salad in New Zealand, paving the way for the booming mung bean industry. I have no idea what a mung bean is, I've got to admit. So the original Ohakune Old Coach Road was disappearing when it was rediscovered in 2002. So they didn't discover the road until 2002. So the vegetation in places has just been covering it. So there was a bridge originally here that's almost completely disappeared, so we put one next to it where it was, so pretty much following the original old coach road. So it was thanks to the effort of volunteers and DOC for re-putting this path in. One of the most striking features of the old coach road is the original hand-laid cobblestone surface, which still exists in sections today. These stones, placed over a century ago, were designed to prevent coaches from sinking into the soft volcanic soil. It's a rare and well-preserved example of early road building techniques in New Zealand. So the old drains that they laid in this road originally, more than 100 years ago, are still operating right now. You can hear the water running underneath the road. Those are the original drains that they put in over 100 years ago. It's impressive. In the distance between the trees you can see some housing. It must be Ohakune, just down there. Still got a ways to go. Danger. Do not open. 1906 to 1908. That's pretty much saying, open me! Dynamite. So breaking rock. The granite rock was blasted with dynamite to loosen up chunks from the rock face. They were sized and shaped using hand tools. You can see some of the holes that were drilled in the rock face to take dynamite sticks like this. A long fuse would explode the dynamite so quarrymen could get to safety. Oh yeah, you can see some of the holes in the rocks. I don't know if you can see that on the camera very well, but you can tell by the shaping of it that it's chunks have been blasted out of it. Right, let's see how old this old stump is. 300 years old. 300-year-old tree. So I'm just crossing the Hapuawhenua Viaduct, just above the Hapuawhenua stream. It's quite high up. Still got the original sleepers in the middle of it too. I've made it across the viaduct. There's a lot of cyclists at this section of the road. You can see the two viaducts, two bridges behind me. That was nice views from there. The historic Hapuawhenua Viaduct is an iconic curved steel bridge built in 1908 at 45 metres high and 284 metres long. It was a key structure in the railway's completion. Today you can walk across the old viaduct and take in the stunning views of the surrounding native bush. Along the trail, you'll pass old railway tunnels that were abandoned when the railway line was later rerouted. Right, so just going through the tunnel, Hapuawhenua. The first train went through here in 1908. Nice cool breeze flowing through, so it can't be too long. So, brought my torch with me today, so we'll go through, have a look. Let's go. These tunnels now, dark and overgrown, add an air but
exciting element to the hike. Some locals even claim the area is haunted by the spirits of railway workers who toiled to complete the line.
Here we go, correct lane. Ah, that's why it skated off. Comes out to the train track. Reasonably long tunnel.
Now part of the Mountains to Sea cycle trail, the Old Coach Road is a scenic track through lush forest, offering hikers and cyclists a mix of history and nature. Towering rimu and rātā trees, birdsong and stunning views make it a must visit for anyone exploring the area.
Right, so that's completed. For how hard the hike was, very easy. I'd say about a 3 out of 10 for walking it. If you're cycling it, even easier. I mean, the only thing is distance. Coming from the Ruapehu side, a lot more downhill. So my elevation gain was only 240 meters. Yeah, so travelled 15.4 kilometres in 5.5 hours. I did do a lot of stopping and a lot of talking, meet people, photography. Yeah, so but I could have done a lot faster. But all up for views, I'd say 7.5 out of 10. Some stunning stuff along the way. Get a bit of variety. No views of Ruapehu, only at the start during the Farmland, but you get a lot of other views. Obviously the history, going across the viaducts, inside the tunnels. Pretty awesome. Alright, I'm just making my way back to Ohakune.
Hiking isn't just about the distance travelled, it's about the moments of stillness, the unexpected discoveries, and the reminders of how connected we are to the landscapes around us. Whether you're exploring history, chasing adventure, or just stepping outside your comfort zone, every trail has something to teach. So keep pushing forward, keep exploring, and most importantly, stay wild.